A very entertaining and insightful broadcast planned for you today. I've got tons of news, wide-ranging as far as the topics will be concerned. I've also got Jake Lloyd coming in studio in the first hour. Terrence Williams and Dustin Gold will be joining me in the second hour. They're about to launch a comedy tour. You may know some of their comedy. Terrence Williams has a lot of viral videos out there. And then Dustin Gold is the Trump Guy or Trump Guy TV. We've actually interviewed him before. So they'll be joining me to talk about their upcoming stand-up comedy tour, as well as the censorship, actually, that they've been dealing with on social media, which I guess that's where I'll begin. I mean, you can look, guys. Give me a doc cam here. All the different stacks of news we've got here today. News that you won't even believe. I've got news that you won't even believe. In fact, multiple news stories you won't even believe. Others you will believe, like the social media censorship that we'll be dealing with. It does appear now that Trump is going full on offense when it comes to the Russian collusion and the spying, and other people are going offensive as well. We'll talk about that. And then some weird news as well. U.S. staffer suffers a brain injury after a sound incident in China. So what, sound weapons now? And the FBI, I've been reporting on this, but it's been a story ongoing for at least a couple months now. Mysterious booms coming from underground, some of them mixed with mysterious light flashes as well. No answers. No answers. Nobody seems to know what's going on. Now the FBI is looking into that. So you've got that going on. Right now, there's literally a volcano blowing up in Hawaii. See if you guys can get the live cam right now. There is a live volcano right now in Hawaii. So this is all going on. The NFL announces its new policy that you have to stand for the national anthem. How dare they? You know, ironically, the NBA has had that policy forever, as far as I know, and they've suspended players for not standing for the anthem before, but nobody talks about that. Yeah, that is a live shot of a volcano in Hawaii. Can you believe that? Meanwhile, the lava from all the volcanic activity in Hawaii is encroaching on a very large power plant. If the lava gets to the power plant, what happens then? Do you have an even larger disaster on your hands? Hopefully, you can stop that from happening. So this is all crazy. I mean, the videos, the news, it's like, I don't know what's the most important, where to begin. I guess we'll start maybe with social media on the other side, because we knew this was coming. Everybody saw the terms of service updates that Facebook was telling you they're about to bring down. Twitter, it's literally days apart. It's like Twitter's is the 24th, Facebook's is the 25th or something, and now they're actually rolling it out. So you've got major media outlets now dealing with censorship. You've got conservative show hosts on Twitter that aren't allowed to monetize and get shadow banned. Then you've got a video where the stories from Cassandra Fairbanks at Gateway Pundit, where somebody tries to make two different accounts on Twitter at the same time, one a pro-Trump account, one an anti-Trump account. One of the accounts was blocked before it could even tweet. And so we've got that video breaking it down. Then you've got the United States District Court, the Southern District of New York, the most liberal activist court in the history of this country. That district is infamous for their left-leaning decisions, now says that President Trump is not allowed to block users on Twitter. Well, we're going to get back to how that's going to backfire on the Democrats on the other side. A packed broadcast today. Don't go anywhere. It is Wednesday, May 23rd, 2018. This is The War Room. I'm your host, Owen Schroyer, and there is an eclipse happening right now on the deep state. And they don't know what to do. They tried to look directly at the sun, and they were blinded. And now they're flailing about caught in their own deception, caught in their own web of lies, where in a 24-hour time span, James Clapper goes on TV and admits they spied on Trump, says it's for their own protection, then left-wing news publications publish stories and headlines saying James Clapper never said the FBI spied on Trump, to then Clapper doubles down on saying the FBI spied on Trump, and Trump even quotes him. And here's the situation we're in now. What are they going to do when they actually have to present a clear and logical case for anything against Trump? They failed on so many grounds, and the Russian collusion narrative is going to be their biggest failure. Did they really think that was going to bring Trump down? Or were they so invested in their own hubris that they really thought Hillary Clinton was going to win no matter what, and they could get away with all of it? Well, that's not what happened, and they're not going to get away with it. So now, since they can't get away with the deep state coup to remove President Trump, and there's news outlets like InfoWars and others that are reporting the facts, that are dominant on social media, to try and hinder real news from getting out there, social media is stepping up their censorship. Now, I'm going to get into the stack of news on social media censorship, but I meant to talk to Alex about this before I went live today, and I know he normally listens, so maybe he's listening to this, but I think Alex came up with one of the most ingenious things in a while for activism today, and I don't even know if he really realized it, what he said. We need to have another campaign just like the Bill Clinton is a rapist campaign during the 2016 presidential election, where you go bombard mainstream media news, whether they're doing a report out in the street somewhere, or whether they're, remote outside their studio, or whether you can get a sign outside their studio or something. InfoWars has the truth. InfoWars is the truth. If you want the news, go to InfoWars. If you want the real news, go to InfoWars. If you want to know the secret history, if you want to know the secret news, go to InfoWars. If you want next year's news today, go to InfoWars. If we had that same campaign like we had for Bill Clinton as a rapist, and thousands of you were able to get on mainstream news and say, InfoWars is the truth, InfoWars is the truth, it will break their back in the censorship battle. So that's what this is. They want to censor us. I can't even go live on this channel. I can't even build and promote a YouTube channel without being censored. Conservatives like Faith Goldy can't monetize on YouTube. Paul Joseph Watson, he can't monetize. He's got to be banned. Alex Jones Show has to be shut down. And now they've taken it one step further, and the Southern District of New York, liberal activists posing as attorneys, now declare that President Trump cannot block users from his personal Twitter account. So President Trump is not allowed to have a personal Twitter account now, according to the United States District Court in the Southern District of New York. Of course, this lawsuit gets filed by the Knight First Amendment Institute at Columbia University. Oh, Columbia University. Wasn't there a FBI informant from there or something, or a leaker or something? I don't know. Maybe I'm just have this weird thing called a memory people say exists. I don't know. So now they're saying, I'll quote the exact case. This case requires us to consider whether a political official may, inconsistent with the First Amendment, block a person from his Twitter account in response to the political views that person has expressed, and whether the analysis differs because that public official is the President of the United States. The answer to both questions is no. So President Trump is not allowed to have his own personal Twitter account, and that is considered free speech, but him blocking someone is not considered free speech. Now, look, if this doesn't show you either A, how they're just going for outright censorship, or B, how even at the highest levels of leftist ideology right now, they only have one dimension of thinking. Why would you declare in this case that it's unconstitutional and against the First Amendment to block people that have a different political view of you, and then to say that the president is not allowed to do that? Wow. You don't see how that's going to come back to haunt you? You don't see how that's going to come back and haunt your own side of things, the left? You don't understand that's biting the hand that's feeding you right now? Twitter is already censoring President Trump. I'm signed up for notifications. I don't get notifications when Trump tweets. Twitter already censors conservatives. They're caught on undercover video admitting it. So Twitter is already engaged in this behavior that you just ruled was unconstitutional. And how about Keith Ellison that blocks thousands of conservatives on Twitter? How about all the Democrats that block all the conservatives on Twitter? Again, they don't even have a two-dimensional thought process where they just say, okay, we gotta get something on Trump. We gotta do something with Trump here. Let's get the Southern District of New York to say that he can't block people on Twitter and that that's anti-free speech. That'll do him. Send it down. Send it through. Let's go. Pump it out. Columbia University. Southern District of New York. Trump's not allowed to have a Twitter account and block people. Not against free speech. Yes, we did it. All right, it's out there. And then it's like somebody comes into the office like minutes after they send this through the pipeline, fully out into the atmosphere of news. Someone says, excuse me, Knight First Amendment Institute at Columbia University. You know that Twitter is actually censoring people right now already for their political speech. Ooh. So you just declared that unconstitutional. Now Twitter's going to have to let the conservatives on Twitter have free speech. And also a lot of our Democrat friends like Keith Ellison that we're tight with, they actually block a lot of users on Twitter too for the political free speech. So this could end up coming back to bite us. Can we pull this back? Oh, it's too late, isn't it? Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to deal with this then. Oh, but they'll say, no, you don't understand. This is just for Trump. Oh, so the rules only apply to Trump. Got you. Yeah, you'll win that intellectual battle too. So here is another example of the desperate left in total denial, just cannot accept the results of the 2016 presidential election, engaging in all sorts of fake news and false narratives and this and that and hate and protests, all because they can't accept a loss, because they're sore losers. And everything that the establishment has done in their denial of President Trump has always come back to bite them. The attacks on free speech, the attacks on the Second Amendment, the Russian collusion narrative. Trump is anti-woman. Now more women love Trump than ever, thanks to your fake news. So mark my words, this case from the Southern District of New York will come back and bite the Democrats and the tech left. So you started on Trump, just like you did with the Russian collusion, but guess what? It boomeranged and back and hit you in the ass. And that's what's going to happen with this too, guaranteed. We're about to reach that higher ground. All it takes is to just clear out some of the muck, some of the rubble left behind by all the corruption in government over the decades. And, you know, a lot of times because I come on here and I'll talk about Obama and his crimes, people will always have some knee-jerk response. Well, Bush did it too. Bush was bad too. And I'm just like, whoa, let's calm down. I'd never liked Bush. In fact, I think Bush was not good. So, you know, just understand, I understand what the deep state is. I get how the deep state operates. Bush, Clinton, same family. But regardless, before I go way off into a tangent. Let's get back into the story here, which is first, which we talked about in the last segment, the Southern District of New York says that President Trump is not allowed to block users on Twitter because he's the president. Well, what? It's his own personal account. So Twitter's allowed to block whoever they want, and that's not against the Constitution. But President Trump on his own personal account, well, he can't block other people, you see? You see, he's hurting people's feelings, and we just can't have that. But it goes on. In fact, let's just go with the video. This is from the Gateway Pundit. Proof that Twitter's bot-catching algorithm targets Trump supporters. Watch this video where a Twitter user sets up a Twitter account for a pro-Trump handle that gets shut down and then an anti-Trump handle that's able to go right out of the gate. So let's go ahead and roll clip 21. So, as you can see here, they go through the typical things, respond to the question, you know, you give the email account, show me the pictures that have a sign in them, show me a truck or whatever, make sure you're not a bot, you know, because the Democrat bot armies are so strong now. And that's who it actually is. If you actually look into who has the bot armies on social media, it's always leftists. And I can always identify them now because there's two types. There's one type of account that is obviously just an anti-Trump bot that you can find the exact same comments or replies that they make on like 30,000 different accounts. Then there's the other side where they pretend to be a Trump supporter and they'll have like a pro-Trump picture and they'll have a pro-Trump account, but all of the replies will be anti-Trump. So there's the two Democrat bot armies that I've identified. Show me the Trump bot army. Everybody they point out to usual user. So there you go. So there's them blocking the pro-Trump account. It was called, I think, Pro-Trump America or something. It gets blocked. Can't go on Twitter. So then they make the other account. In fact, let me get the actual names here. So the pro-Trump account was American Trump Supporter. That account immediately gets locked. Then they make the account Resist Trump Tards, and it goes right into usage. So there you go. And this is on the Gateway Pundit. The video is on the Gateway Pundit. It's all there. So now I didn't need this video for me to know this was going on. I already knew this was going on. We already knew social media was censoring conservatives and Trump supporters, but we're just giving you the rock hard evidence now. So here you go. You do it. You can do the experiment yourself. Try to make a pro-Trump account. You'll get blocked. Try to make an anti-Trump account. You'll be fine. You'll be good to go. Even make death threats to Trump. They'll probably make you trend. So not just that, but the Southern District of New York says Trump is not allowed to control his Twitter account. You see, it's only for Trump, though, not for the Democrats that block people. It goes on. This is from Kit Daniels at Infowars.com. Stunning. Stunning. Facebook, send us your nudes to stop revenge porn. You can't, I mean, what? Here's the quote. Facebook is asking users to send nude pictures of themselves to, quote, prevent them from being shared publicly on the company's various platforms. Literally makes no sense. Here's the quote. We're now partnering with safety organizations on a way for people to securely submit photos they feel will be shared without consent so we can block them from being uploaded to Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger. So they want you to send them your nudes so they can protect you from them being shared on the internet. So give Facebook, an internet giant, your nudes to stop your nudes from getting shown on the internet. Now, I actually understand the technical reasoning for this. They believe that once they can put this image into a system, that they can then block it from being uploaded. That does exist. Facebook and other social medias already have those algorithms built into their safety methods. But this is like next level. In fact, let me tell you something. You want to stop revenge porn? Are you worried about your quote-unquote nudes going on the internet? Here's an idea. Don't take nudes. Yeah. Here's an idea. Don't make a porno. Oh, but I guess, you know, that's just impossible. I mean, we got to have, you know, I got to take my nudes. I got to send my nudes out. I got a new babe on Tinder. I got to send her my nudes. But I'm afraid maybe she'll share them with the internet. So I'll send them to Facebook too. Yeah, that makes sense. It wouldn't make sense to just not take a nude. No, it would make sense to just protect myself by sending them to Facebook. That'll protect me. Because it's not like you could upload a nude anywhere else on the internet. It's not like you could just manipulate a photo enough that it passes through the algorithms and is uploaded on Facebook. Facebook, so just send Facebook your nudes. They're not going to do anything with them. I wouldn't worry about that. People aren't going to look at those. And now Facebook, this is from Ezra Levant at The Rebel. Here's Facebook's notice. They're banned. We have 10,000 posts. They won't tell us which one is problematic. Their advice is to shut down the whole page. No info about who to complain to. No way to appeal. Just Mark Zuckerberg and Justin Trudeau telling The Rebel, you must be shut down. So that's nice. And then look at this one. So then Facebook sends this out today. Tips to spot false news. So they're telling you how they're going to stop false news. And they even say in here they're working with independent third-party fact checkers. Okay, well, let's take a look at these quote-unquote third-party fact checkers. Mike Cernovich did so today. He tweeted out about Antifa using hammer and sickle logos on flags. Then he was attacked, and he was said, that's not true. And they did a third-party fact check. And they said, nope, Antifa doesn't wear hammer and sickle flags. Yeah, they do. And Mike Cernovich proved the fact checker to be totally wrong. Let's show you fact checkers again. Sean King tweets out, this woman was kidnapped, raped by Texas State Trooper Officer Hubbard. She is now being held hostage in Ellis County Jail. Sharita Dixon Cole is her name. Now, Sean King needs to be arrested because DPS released the entire body cam video. It's over an hour. It's like an hour, 40 minutes. And total lies. The officer was polite. The woman admitted to drinking. They even had cordial conversations at the police station. There was no rape. There was no arrest. There was no held hostage. But Sean King goes on Twitter and says that Officer Hubbard kidnapped and raped a woman. Sean King needs to be arrested immediately. Why isn't Twitter on Sean King? Because they're so obsessed with Trump and conservatives that they can't dominate the message anymore. Screw you, Twitter. That's why I left you months ago. You suck. You suck. Social media sucks. So I have been in talk radio now for 8 years. And I grew up listening to talk radio. And what I loved about talk radio was it just intrigued me how you could just be driving in the car, down the road, whatever, and you could have dozens of people calling in, and you get dozens of opinions, and you get different takes, and it just intrigued me for some reason when I was younger to just have that platform of a talk radio show and just be able to just say, hey, what's your opinion on this? And then get all people to call in and talk about it. And see, on Friday, that's what we're going to be doing. And I'm going to have Craig Sawyer co-hosting with me for the first ever here on the War Room Veterans Call-In Show, a voice for our veterans. That is this Friday, May 25th. We're going to do this the last Friday of every month. I'll have a guest host with me every time. The first one will be Craig Sawyer. And it's going to be great because, like I said, I originally grew up loving talk radio because of call-in shows. It always intrigued me to hear different opinions. It was always a diverse audience. And that's what we're going to get. Now, I expect the veterans that are going to be calling in on Friday to have a litany of issues that they want to discuss, whether it be the VA, whether it be Trump or the Russian collusion theory or the corruption in the FBI, or who knows. If you want to call and talk about a ball game or something, I don't care. This is on Friday. It's all about the veterans. I don't see their voice getting heard enough. So that's what we're going to do. As Jake Lloyd joins me in studio, he's going to be with me for the remainder of this hour. You served in the Army yourself. I know that there's a lot of issues that veterans have that are really just near and dear to veterans that don't really get out into the mainstream. And so that's what I think that this could accomplish. And I just want those opinions and those voices to get amplified. And that's what we're going to try to do on Friday.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I heard you mention it a few weeks back. You said that you wanted to start doing this. And I was just like, that's a really, really good idea because veterans, in the military or even after the military, they have to deal with the government in a very unique, almost kind of intimate way because you have this love-hate relationship with the military, and then mostly a hate relationship with the rest of the government because it's just so much bureaucracy and everything. The VA, very slow. A lot of times there's payment issues. And then there's the issue of what veterans are kind of torn between, because there's like, I want to serve my country because I love it. I want to fight for the Constitution and all these things. And then there's also the other side, but, you know, knowing that the government is not exactly the friend of the people and the military. So it's kind of it's a tough place to be in. So I definitely think that you'll get a lot of really good opinions, a lot of really good discussions will come out of that.
And you know that there's a point where I think a lot of people that serve in the military say, did they send me over there because that was in America's best interest, or was that in Israel's best interest? And that'll be, I think, a hot topic as well, considering everything that happened in the Gaza Strip and with the embassy in Jerusalem. And the only way we're able to do this, folks, is with your support at InfoWarsStore.com. Now, I'm telling you, when I'm talking behind the scenes with Alex about this, he is honestly fired up right now because he wants to expand to 24 hours a day. He's ready to go full bore. This new hiring push that he's got is the next level for Alex. And we're about to hit the midway point of 2018. Blast us off to the next level of coverage and live news by supporting us at InfoWarsStore.com. In fact, we've got a brand new product that just came down the pipeline, the Real Red Pill Plus. The Real Red Pill Plus, 50% off right now at InfoWarsStore.com. So a lot of times when people debut new products, they give it to you full retail price. Not us. We give it to you half off because we have faith that when you try the product, you're going to become a repeat customer. And that's how most people are. That's how a lot of people are with the Brain Force. It's probably the best example of that. The DNA Force Plus, that's still 50% off. The Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste, that is still 50% off. And, you know, the products, honestly, are so strong, some of them, that you'll notice such results for some of these products, you won't even be able to use them. For example, BioTrue Selenium, I was taking that for a little bit. It was too strong for me. I didn't need it. I can't do BioTrue Selenium. Now, maybe when I'm older, I might have to consider it again. But, like, that's one for me where I just can't do. Even Alpha Power sometimes, I have to cut back because it's just like, okay, this is just way too much testosterone here, dude. You're not Hugh Hefner. So the products are real. They're the real deal. They work. And we just believe that once you try them, you're going to come and become a repeat customer. So InfoWarsStore.com, brand new products, specials on DNA Force Plus and others such as the Real Red Pill Plus, brand new product, 50% off. It's all at InfoWarsStore.com. All right, Jake, now I've got a stack of news here. In fact, I bet there's some stories in here that you won't even believe.
I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't believe some of these stories.
Would you believe me if I told you that today is officially Stormy Daniels Day?
You know, I probably would not have believed you. You know, maybe even as recently as a month ago, I probably would not have believed you. But now, I mean, we live in such a clown world that I can't say that I'm all that surprised. Well, at this point.
Let me scoop you. The mayor of West Hollywood, California, will join city officials today to present adult film star Stormy Daniels with a key to the city and a city proclamation, making May 23rd Stormy Daniels Day. That's real news.
That's real news right there?
That's real news. There it is right there. Do you want to touch the documents?
I'll touch the documents. You know, maybe it's I mean, I'm not surprised. Perhaps Stormy Daniels is the most virtuous person in West Hollywood. I don't know. I'm sure
That's a good point.
When West Hollywood is sending their people, they're not sending their best. But I'm sure that some of them are good people.
Well, it's actually funny because Stormy Daniels really hasn't been like that anti-Trump. I mean, in all honesty, her whole campaign has been suing so that she can tell the story about Trump and make money.
Oh yeah, really, it's totally a money grab. There's no money thing for her. There's no real substance to what she's talking about.
But she's done such damage to Trump that she's such an important member of the resist movement that West Hollywood has now declared May 23rd. In fact, I should have come on the show that it's not Wednesday, May 23rd, 2018. It's just Stormy Daniels Day.
It's just Stormy Daniels Day.
And let's give Stormy Daniels the key to InfoWars, too.
And I like, yeah, she should get the keys. She should just get a skeleton key.
She can have the key to my car.
She can do whatever she wants.
She wants a key to my house? Come on in.
The funny thing is that this isn't even, what's her real name?
This is real news.
What's her real name? Stephanie Clifford or something?
It's in the story. I can't
It's not even Stephanie Clifford. It's a porn star name.
You're not even a real name.
It's not. It's like Velvet Rose Day or something for a stripper.
Batman Day.
Batman Day.
That would actually probably be more legit than a Stormy Daniels
Well,
Day.
at least Batman does something for people.
Stormy Daniels Day. Yeah, Batman doesn't use guns. Stormy Daniels puts her guns on display all the time.
At least Batman sells movies other than, X-rated kind.
So that's nice. So that okay.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with that? Stormy Daniels Day.
Mm-hmm.
How about Eric Swalwell? Boy, if you ever need content, if you're magically somehow out of content, Eric Swalwell is just a never-ending. I mean, the well is always full on Eric Swalwell's Twitter account. He tweets this out. Russia attacked America. Okay, so now he just wants war on Russia, apparently. He says Russia attacked America. Then he says Donald Trump's team tried to work with them. That's the kind of thing you investigate. Yet Speaker Ryan is allowing Trump's fixers in Congress to torch the rule of law. If you think this is not normal, time to be loud. Hashtag Trump Russia. So I don't get it. The FBI is spying on Trump for his protection. The FBI is spying on Trump because he's colluding with Russia. They can't seem to get the story straight. But according to Eric Swalwell, we were attacked by Russia. Hillary said she would go to war with Russia. So maybe that's the answer here.
Well, do you think that people like Eric Swalwell, because obviously people like Hillary Clinton know the truth and they're just blatant liars. Do you think that Eric Swalwell is just that much of a moron that he actually believes this stuff, or do you think that he might be a liar? I don't know.
That's what I'm asking. Is Eric Swalwell, like, does he have that many skeletons in his closet that he just says whatever he's told to say, or is he really that stupid?
Imagine
really
having such little integrity that whenever there is just mounting an entire mountain of evidence against the Clinton campaign and all of these other people that were spying on the Trump campaign and then the administration, imagine seeing that and going, oh, Trump colluded with Russia. This is what it is.
But then he says Congress is allowing them to torch the rule of law for Trump's quote-unquote fixers. He doesn't actually use an example when that's what Mueller is doing. The law has been torched by the Russian probe. I mean, Eric Swalwell, he's like a ventriloquist dummy or something. So you're going to get a kick out of this one. The Democrats right now don't know what to do. You see, Democrats have been pushing for prison reform for a long, long time, even though it was the Clintons that brought in most of the prison reform that they're calling for. So Bill Clinton enacts his quote-unquote prison reform. That's a disaster, specifically for minorities. So then the Democrats have to come in and they have to virtue signal to reform the prison system that they screwed up to begin with. But Jake, in The Atlantic today, they highlight a very philosophical issue that the Democrats are dealing with right now because Trump agreed to massive prison reform, and it's going to reduce mandatory minimum sentences, improve federal prison conditions, ease the transition back into the society for those incarcerated. So this has been something Democrats have been pushing for a long time. Republicans have not really made this a big issue, not a campaign issue either. So the Democrats have kind of been a lone voice at this, and in all of their attacks on Trump, they kind of put it on the back burner. But now Trump comes in, actually enacts prison reform, signs it, and now the Democrats are sitting here scratching their head because they're like, well, wait a second. We've been calling for this prison reform for decades, but now Trump enacted it. Now we have to be against it. So this whole article in The Atlantic headlined, "The Democrat Fight Over Prison Reform," is the Democrat battle right now, a philosophical battle, which is, do we go with our actual stance and our actual agenda, or do we go against it because Trump is for it? That is a real philosophical battle Democrats are having right now.
Well, and these idiots, these absolute morons, shoot themselves in the foot every time because just a couple weeks ago, which rapper was it that was going to go meet with Trump at the White House? I think it was Meek Mill. Yeah, it was Meek Mill. And Jay-Z told him not to go. He said, don't go. Don't meet with him. We have to boycott him. And apparently that came from Obama to Jay-Z. This is the rumor. You know, we don't have verification, but you can expect that to be true.
Let me just tell you this. Paul Joseph Watson, I know, has high up sources, but Matt Drudge would have never linked to it unless he knew it was.
Exactly. So they told him, they could have taken credit for it in some regard. They could have been like, oh, well, Trump enacted this after talking to a rapper about prison reform. So clearly the rapper, used his superior negotiating skills to get his supreme political knowledge that you obviously garner in the rap community. He used that to convince Trump to enact prison reform. But no, they said, no, we're not going to talk to Trump about it. And then Trump goes and does this on his own. And now they have to engage in this fight, like you said, of like, do we support it or do we fight it just because Trump?
Yeah, like what is more important to us, being anti-Trump or actually fixing America?
I'm pretty sure they've established that it's just being anti-Trump at this point.
Yeah, but they're still, you know, they're having that battle on the surface.
They're still putting the facade out there that they actually care about people.
And where they come down on this is really going to show, I think, a lot of people. It's going to hurt the Democrats if they don't get behind this, because this is an example of something they've been calling for. And if they ditch and bail on this just because Trump gets behind it, that's going to do tremendous damage to them in 2018. But to go on the Obama thing again, this is like, it's almost the same censorship that you see on social media, where the left has dominated the message so much and the narrative so much that now that there's a new wave of messengers coming in with a totally different message that's resonating with America and changing the game, they have to stop it. They have to cut it out. They have to be in control of the message. If InfoWars exists, then the Young Turks can't control the narrative because nobody will believe the Young Turks. So it's that same kind of logic applies to what Obama's doing. So Obama probably is in the ear of all these rappers. They probably got him in the contacts. They're probably talking. They're probably cool. And they probably trust Obama. They probably, you know, view it like, wow, the first black president, I'm friends with him. This is great. You know, black people are really starting to change this country. I'm glad I'm in touch with him. I trust this man. And we're in contact. So whatever he's telling me, I believe it. Well, now Trump gets in. Kanye goes and meets with Trump. And, well, Kanye probably was, you know, he's probably a different example because he's, you know, he'll go against the grain. That's just kind of what he does.
Right.
But no longer is there that censored message. It's not even censored. It's that controlled message where the rappers are only getting intel from Obama, right? So they're only talking to Obama. So anything that they know or think about politics, it all comes from Obama. Well, now if they meet with Trump, well, he might say something that they might agree with. He might say something that they haven't thought about before. He might tell them something that they didn't know that might change their mind, a la Kanye West. So Obama has to stop that. So this is Obama now keeping the black man down. So now Obama is censoring black people's free speech.
And that really reminds me, I have something else to say about that, but just kind of a funny aside. All of this started because President Trump was then just private citizen Trump. He was at the White House press correspondence dinner or whatever, and they made fun of him. You remember when Obama made fun of Trump, and then Trump goes, "Okay, I'm going to take this guy's job now." So that spurs Trump to run for president. And so he gets elected. He takes Obama's job, dismantles his legacy. Kanye West might not have gone against the grain of the Democrats and supported President Trump if Obama hadn't called him a jackass on TV years before. So it's like, it's all of these things coming together. Obama set all of these little things in motion years earlier that just destroy his entire legacy.
They blame the Russians for Trump getting elected. They ought to blame Hillary.
Right, exactly.
I mean, she was the one that stole the nomination from Bernie and then couldn't even campaign.
They just always flick these little dominoes that just tumble and eventually are their undoing. But to follow up with what you were saying, the actual point of it, you can always tell if somebody's genuine about the causes that they claim to support because they don't care who does it. Like Trump, you know, if you just showed me Trump and didn't tell me that he was running for president and you showed me his character versus somebody else, maybe I'd go, okay, yeah, maybe he's not the ideal person. But I don't care because he wants to make America great again. Exactly. And even if it weren't Trump, or say that after Trump another politician comes along that's a Democrat and wants to do the same thing that Trump has been doing, then I would still support him because I care about making America great again. I don't just care about like, oh, Republicans versus Democrats, but the Democrats at the moment only care about a Democratic legacy being built that can be used for more Democratic presidencies. And that's all they care about. So they don't care about actually helping people. They don't care about any policies. They just want to build.
Their legacy is in public opinion.
Exactly.
And handouts instead of actual infrastructure, instead of actually getting people a hand up. It's really keeping them down. So like you would be the kind of guy probably, I would imagine, that likes to cut taxes. You'd like that. You know,
I would like to have the taxes go down a little bit.
I would imagine that everybody would like to cut taxes. Well, let's ask the crew. Do you guys want lower taxes? We got about 8-man crew back here. They all say they want lower tax. I think lower taxes are a good thing. Well, Michael Bloomberg has now said he thinks raising taxes on poor people is a good thing.
Oh, wow.
And then
that'll be popular with the poor people.
Oh, but this is where it's actually a demonic thing. He says, taxes or life, which do you want to do? Take your poison. So now Michael Bloomberg is literally saying you have to have the government to live. You're not independent. You're not a sovereign citizen. Exactly. That's
the
what
goal.
I'm saying. He just outed their agenda, which is you have to live off the government. You cannot exist without the government. Michael Bloomberg just admitted it.
That's what they do. You see it over the past 80 to 100 years. They've systematically lowered wages. They make it impossible to afford to live on your own. At least they're going to. Taxes are strategically being raised. More and more diseases are entering the public, whether it's autism or whatever. Everybody eventually will have somebody with autism dependent upon them, and they're shifting the healthcare system towards a totally publicly funded government healthcare system. So you need the government in every single way. You need them to be your mom, your dad, your God, which is
Sugar
what they
daddy.
want. Exactly. All of that. Yep. Stormy Daniels is a little bit ahead of the curve on that one.
Happy Stormy Daniels Day.
Exactly. So the total goal is government dependence in every way. And ultimately, government is your God, and he decides whether or not you get to live.
And I'm just quoting Michael Bloomberg. Taxes or life, which do you want to do? Take your poison. So you can't have life unless you have the government taxing you to pay for you to be alive. That's just unbelievable. But it goes one step further now. A Democrat congressman is taking the first shot at a repeal of Trump's tax law. So now not only do you have 0 Democrats that voted for the tax cuts that I would imagine 99% of Americans want, now they're actually trying to repeal it. They're trying to repeal the tax cuts. So they're now going to campaign on higher taxes.
These people are demons, and these people are demons. There's a book called The Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis, and it's these demons talking about how to corrupt human souls. And it's really interesting because they refer to the enemy, and the enemy is God. And they say, the enemy knows how to create. We have not yet been able to create, so all we can do is destroy the created things and corrupt them. And that's all that Democrats can do. These people are practically demons in every way. All they can do is try to corrupt good things, try to destroy things that are created by actual creative, intelligent people. And that is their entire purpose, is just destruction of the American dream.
Well, they're destroying themselves now. And if they really campaign on higher taxes, which it looks like that's what they're going with, if they really think that people want more taxes, then they'll just destroy themselves. So they've already destroyed the inner cities. They've destroyed their own party, and they're going to destroy anything else that they get their hands on. But they're going to destroy themselves with running on tax cuts, or running against tax cuts, higher taxes. Well, Jake, thanks for joining me. Happy Stormy Daniels Day to you.
Happy Stormy Daniels Day.
Enjoy the rest of your Stormy Daniels Day today.
Thank you.
This is just coming from the Huffington Post. I don't have the story on my desk. Democrats join Republicans in bill criminalizing speech critical of Israel. What? This is the type of garbage that is going on in Europe and Canada right now, where they have legislation that's anti-free speech. No, I can come on air here and say whatever the hell I want about Israel. And I think it's funny that people call me an Israeli shill just because I call things as I see them, and I don't say that Jews are bad and Jews are to blame for everything. I'm not one of those people that just says, it's all the Jews, it's all the Jews. To me, that's insane. Are the Jews Zionist? Do they have a power structure? Is there a power structure? Yes, absolutely. Does Israel control a bunch of our foreign policy? Yes, absolutely. I cover that. And then I have Syrian Girl on, and we have a great hour-long segment. You can call it a debate. You can call it whatever you want. It was great. And then people send me messages, and they're like, I can't believe you banned Syrian Girl. You're clearly an Israeli shill. Of course you would ban Syrian Girl. She talks bad about Syria. I've said get her on more after that segment. And so now, in light of the story, this is actually an old story. Okay, I see what's going on here. So you know what? That's fine. So we will have to respond to this, and it's just an overall response that we are free here. We are not controlled here. I'm not controlled by Russia. I'm not controlled by Israel. I'm not even controlled by my own boss, Alex Jones. Okay? So Syrian Girl wants to talk about this. So this is going to be great, because all the people said, InfoWars banned Syrian Girl after she debated Israel with Owen Schroyer. That never happened at all. I thought it was a great segment. I thought it was thought-provoking. She said a lot of things that sparks my interests. So that's fine. So we'll just have to get Syrian Girl on to cover this because she wants to. And then once again, that'll prove that we're not shills for Israel, as if we have to. That's just so ridiculous. So people are sending me this story from 2017 saying, get Syrian Girl on about this. So to just show you that we don't ban Syrian Girl and that's fake news, we'll just do it. That's what we do here. We just respond to the fake news and prove it wrong. That's just what we do. That's fine. Okay. Where should I go from here? You know, okay, so let's see what's happened in the last week. Gina Haspel becomes the first woman to head the CIA. Then you have the New York Stock Exchange put Stacey Cunningham as its president, the first woman ever. Now, Stacey Abrams wins Georgia in bid to become first black female governor in the United States. So good for her. So all the oppression that the women are dealing with, I guess, is waning or just really not what they claim it is, or their protests, anti-man, pro-woman protests are effective. Either way, I'm just reporting the news. That's all I'm doing here. But oddly enough, oh yeah, and by the way, Stacey Abrams, listen, see, this is the most ridiculous part of it. Stacey Abrams is the is running for governor, okay? But you know what her campaign is? Stop Donald Trump. That's a governor. Local issues. You need to be concerned about the state of Georgia, not the president of the United States. But this is how every Democrat goes now, because they have no identity. They have no policy. They have no ideas. They have no agenda. They have no message. All they have is hate Trump, Trump bad. But then they'll attack women. They'll attack our reporters. They'll attack Millie Weaver. They'll attack Faith Goldie. I had her on yesterday. And they'll attack Tommy Loren. So they claim to be all about women, standing up for women, women's rights, but then they attack any woman that has a different idea or thought than them. I'm going to talk about that on the other side, because this is something we deal with too. You know what the beauty of everything is right now? I don't even really have to come on here and talk about all the nonsense that the Democrat Party is engaged in right now to bring them down. They're going to do it to themselves. I mean, seriously, like, there's a part of me that's almost taking an attack stance that is like just kicking my feet back and just reclining, just being like, yeah, Democrats, yeah, keep going. Yeah. Keep telling people how bad Trump is. Yeah, keep telling people they can't, like Trump if they're black or a woman or Latino. Keep telling people that. I'll be right over here waiting. I'll just be waiting. I'm going to be sipping on my tea, smoking a cigar. You keep telling me, oh, what's that? Oh, you want to, yeah, people do want their taxes to be higher. That's a great campaign to go on, Democrats. Yeah, you know what? I'll just kick my feet back. I'll recline. You guys campaign on higher taxes and Trump hate. You guys will be fine. I don't need to take you down. You're going to do it to yourself. And that's where we're at. Oh, and by the way, keep censoring free speech on the internet too. And why don't you introduce another bill while you're at it that says that you can't criticize Israel in free speech too. So that's, good messages, good campaigning by the Democrats. Oh, yeah. You're going to really win a lot of elections with those messages. Well, one individual who's been dealing with the social media censorship, I imagine almost all of our guests have actually, is Dustin Gould, who is also the Trump guy. He runs Trump TV. He's about to do a comedy tour with Terrence Williams, who we're also trying to connect with here. It's almost like I don't even recognize you, Dustin, without the all the Trump garb on. But nonetheless, there you are.
I'm celebrating higher taxes.
Oh yes, that's what we want. In fact, actually, I am celebrating that the Democrats are running on higher taxes. I am actually celebrating that. I like that. Please, Democrats, run on that.
I'm celebrating higher taxes. I'm celebrating Stormy Daniels Day. I'm celebrating the fact that you outed yourself as an Israeli shill. And I'm celebrating the fact that Trump has finally spun this thing around and we're taking it head on to the deep state.
Well, it really is incredible. Now, you've been dealing with censorship on social media, obviously. First, they do the kind of the shadow banning of you where the retweets, you're not getting the exposure. Then they just shut you down. They don't even tell you what you're doing. This is your Trump Guy TV, YouTube and Twitter handle. But you kept fighting. You kept going forward. And now you've actually announced a comedy tour. So this is about conservatives, and it's not even about saying, oh, I'm a conservative in this industry, or I'm a Trump supporter in this industry. It's just about the left dominates these industries. It's time for conservatives to get in there and get their creativity out. So that's what you and Terrence Williams are trying to do. Talk about your upcoming comedy tour.
Yeah, the left dominates these industries. The Jews dominate these industries. So
wait, I'm not allowed to say that. I'm not allowed to say that. Censor him. Censor him. Censor him.
I'm allowed to say it. I'm a quarter Jewish, so I can say it for like a quarter of a minute. No, but
I'll have to ask Chuck Schumer if that's legit. Go ahead.
Yeah, Pickle Man Chuck Schumer. He's a great guy. But yeah, a couple of weeks ago, Twitter shut down my Trump Guy TV Twitter handle. No warning, nothing, just gone, disappeared. All my followers were gone, and I was locked out of my account. So, and that was like a week after we announced this comedy tour that I'm doing with Terrence Williams, who's a black conservative comedian, funny guy. You've probably seen him online. Hannity had him on for a week. Jesse Waters had him on. He eats chicken and laughs in a blanket in his apartment. He's a great guy.
And it is hilarious.
Oh, yes, it's hilarious. He was one of the first, I would say one of the first right up there with Diamond and Silk, black conservatives to come out and go viral online. And he called me about a month ago and said, do you want to do a tour with me? And I said, yeah, we'll definitely do it. I'm doing that, and I'm working on a new show with Right Side Broadcasting Network. I know sometimes you guys use their live streams of the rallies. They were the first people to go out there and challenge mainstream media and start panning the crowds and actually showing that they were as long as Trump said they were, or at least, half of what Trump said they were. He exaggerates a little bit, but I've been to a lot of rallies, and there's tens of thousands of people there.
Well, and we're now joined by Terrence Williams as well, who is going to be doing the comedy tour with you. Terrence, thanks for joining us. So what made you think of the idea to do a comedy tour? What made you think that that was a good idea and that this was something you guys could run with?
Well, people have been asking me, Terrence, please come to my city. Please come to my city. So I decided, well, I'm coming to your city. People want to see me live. People want to laugh. They want to enjoy a Trump supporter. They want to enjoy some Trump support and entertainment. So I decided to go on the tour.
And it's so great because you guys have two different dynamics to your comedy where Dustin, you do kind of the Trump impersonations and you have funny little mannerisms and you do the whole funny bit there. It's better than anything Alec Baldwin could ever do. And then Terrence, you kind of take leftist issues and things that liberals get triggered about, and you kind of just make a joke of it and laugh at it and show light on the nonsense of it. So how are you guys gonna kind of merge those two comedic styles to do a comedy tour?
Oh, I'm going to go right out there and throw Terrence out of the room. He's gone. Finished. Throw him out in the parking lot. Tie his shoelaces together, push him down the stairs. And that's it. That's the whole show. It's 30 seconds.
That's probably exactly what the left wants. There's Trump. Look at Trump beating up a minority.
Well, I'll tell you, we're going to start the night with a meet and greet. Terrence is going to be eating chicken with everybody, which is going to be fantastic because his fans for the last year and a half have been begging him, I want to eat chicken with you. So he's going to do that, right, Terrence?
Oh, it's going to be some good old fried chicken, okay? And a lot of people, they stereotype black people and say black people are the only ones that eat chicken. And that's a dang lie. White people eat more chicken than black people do. But sometimes white folks, they like to hide their chicken, like chicken noodle soup, chicken pot pie, chicken dumpling. They eat more chicken than we do. It's so many people buying VIP tickets to eat chicken, and majority of them are all white.
Well, the audience wants to know. The audience wants to know. The audience wants to know right now, Terrence. Are you guys going to be providing fried chicken? Or is this a bring your own fried chicken event, or will you be providing fried chicken? I think we may have lost Terrence, guys.
Terrence is going to be providing fried chicken. It was something we talked about. His fans wanted to do it, and I said, why not eat fried chicken with all these people? So here he's going to do it, and I don't know. I think he's really looking to become the new KFC mascot, the new Colonel Sanders, the extra crispy, if you know what I mean. So that could work.
They are switching. I mean, they do seem to get a new Colonel Sanders mascot every month. It seems
15 minutes. Yeah. I mean, and they've had women, they've had old people. I don't know. Maybe they have transgender Colonel Sanders. That would be interesting.
Well, that's kind of what Reba McEntire was, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. But they could get Bruce Jenner. I mean, that guy is still out there. He's interesting. we were just working on some material about Bruce and how famous he was for throwing the javelin, and now he's famous for catching one between his legs, if you know what I mean. So,
and he's the best at both, I hear.
Yes, he is. He's great. And that's why we figured out, as we were talking about Kanye and the whole question that came up on TMZ about slavery and the fact that whether or not, blacks submitted to it. And we figured out that Kanye did this to distance himself from his family. It was a couple weeks out from Mother's Day because he didn't want to have to take his kids to see stepmom/dad Bruce. That was going to be a little strange.
I see. So there was there was something going on behind the scenes there. All right, we're gonna get Terrence. We're gonna get Terrence reconnected. We're keeping Dustin on with us for another segment here. In the meantime, though, folks, you need to support conservatives like Terrence and Dustin on their comedy tour. We need your support at InfoWarsStore.com. We want more platforms. We want to bring on more guests. And then if we have more live content, we can even get more guests on, and we can give different guests more airtime. So it's all possible with your support at InfoWarsStore.com. Brand new product, the Real Red Pill Plus. So the Real Red Pill was such a top seller that we decided to make it even more powerful with a new formula, and we're introducing it at 50% off right now at InfoWarsStore.com. So give the Real Red Pill Plus a try, 50% off InfoWarsStore.com. And while you're there, you need to get a bottle of Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste. It's 50% off. It's the best toothpaste on earth. And everybody buys toothpaste. Why not shop with the good guys? Why not buy toothpaste and then fund the news organization that's years ahead of the rest, that gives you the real news before anyone else will break it? Why not fund us? Do it. InfoWarsStore.com, Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste, 50% off right now. Welcome back to the War Room, brought to you by InfoWars. I'm your host, Owen Schroyer. I have Dustin Gold and Terrence Williams on with me. Terrence's Skype is a little messed up, so if we lose him, we'll just bring him back on the phone. Before we get into any news discussions, guys, I haven't put the information out there. Where can people check out your comedy tour? Where can people know where the events are going to be? What's a good website that we can plug so people can go see you guys?
They can
Terrence
go to
K. Williams.
TerrenceKWilliams.com. TerrenceKWilliams.com. A Terrence with an E, not an A. TerrenceWilliams.com, and they can find all the information on there, the future cities that I will be in, that me and Dustin will be in. Yeah, ticket information about fried chicken, information.
Now that's the real information. What kind of?
And you guys, you have to support this because social media, you shut down my Twitter account. They attacked Terrence and threatened his Facebook account. As you can see, they even shut down his internet feed a little while ago. These guys are evil. They're shutting it down.
Well, that's what I wanted to get into, and let's go on with Terrence, and then we'll get your take on this, Dustin. What have you seen since you announced this tour, since you've been doing your comedy? I mean, what type of censorship have you witnessed and experienced?
Well, I've been experiencing censorship for the last year. I can't tell a difference. Facebook, they still censor me. They banned me because I posted some death threats. People were talking about they were going to kill me, calling me a Uncle Tom, calling me a coon. So I said, well, let me post this on Facebook, and maybe Facebook will ban them. And let me post it just in case something happened to me, because you never know. These people are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So I thought Facebook had my back. Well, that part, they did not have my back. Facebook banned me and said that I was bullying and harassing the people that were bullying and harassing me because I posted their death threats. Because I posted the hateful things that they said to me.
So you received death threats. Hold on a second. I don't even. You received death threats. You post the death threats for your own safety and to get the word out, and then you're the bad guy?
You ain't never lied. Yes, I was considered the bad guy, okay? They threw away the keys and took me to jail. Facebook put me in a Facebook County jail for no reason, okay? And so then they sent this fake apology, this automated apology, talking about one of my team members made a mistake. It was not no mistake. It wasn't a mistake. You know what? I did not when I started getting censored, I started to notice it. You know, I used to get paid on Facebook. Facebook used to cut the check. They used to pay the bills. I used to buy baked beans with my Facebook check. But guess what? Facebook, they used to pay me to play ads during my live feed, during my live videos. Then one day, they cut me off. They said I was no longer able to receive ad money. I was no longer monetized.
Wow, so now you can't even get the family fried chicken bucket now. You got to go down to the little chicken bucket.
Yeah, listen. I said, well, Facebook, they don't pay me no more. So I tried to go down to the food stamp office. They told me to get my black ass out of there. So I said, well, dang. Well, I guess I better get a real job. But listen to this, though. No, this is the kicker. This is the kicker. I received my last Facebook check October of 2017. My first time getting censored was November of 2017. Come on now. Tell me something don't sound fishy about that. Come on. You cut me off from monetizing in October, and you start censoring me and removing my posts.
Well, this is the same thing that happened to Diamond and Silk, and they actually got to talk about that in front of Congress. And then what does the Democrat congressman say? But you made a lot of money. Well, it doesn't matter. We're talking about the Constitution here, you dimwit. But Dustin, you had to deal with this too.
Money?
Yeah.
What's wrong with making money?
Terrence is so broke now, he has to go to KFC and lick other people's fingers. I mean, it's so screwed up. But yeah, but no, I mean, hey, Twitter shut me down a few weeks ago, just totally wiped out my account. You know, it starts with shadow banning. Everybody on Twitter who's a conservative has experienced this. Then I was suspended for 7 days, and then all of a sudden my account just completely disappeared. And the crazy part about this is conservatives are being attacked. People like Terrence on Facebook get attacked for posting death threats. And you've got the former head of the CIA, John Brennan, Cro-Magnon forehead, is walking around on Twitter threatening the president of the United States every day with threats, posting stuff about Cicero. Cicero was killed because he was trying to restore the Republic and take down the dictator Julius Caesar. And John Brennan gets away with this all day long. I mean, it's so obvious, it's almost not even worth talking about censorship anymore because we know that it's happening. They've basically admitted it, and James O'Keefe with Project Veritas has pretty much exposed all of this stuff.
Well, and they're just about to roll out their new terms of service, Twitter and Facebook, on back-to-back days, and they're kind of having like a soft launch right now where they're slowly banning people, they're slowly kicking people off, and then they're going to say you're fake news or you're hate speech or you're bullying when you're getting death threatened. And so that's how they're kind of greasing the skids for the total rollout. They've already got the narrative played out where it's like, oh, look, we're just banning fake news. We're just banning, you know, bullies and everything, when really it's a total political agenda that I think is just going to blow up in their face. Now, I know that it's obviously great for marketing, but, you know, personally, I'm just so sick of social media. I just wish that people would just put it down.
Well, one of the things that I just want to bring this up, because you guys stress it, Alex stresses it, and it's very important. About 8 weeks ago when I met Terrence, I helped him rebuild his website. I have a background in marketing. I used to have a web company. And I saw over the last 10 years, not even having to do with politics, a lot of people, small businesses, personalities, freelancers, started getting rid of their websites and their email lists and relying completely on Twitter, Facebook, Google, and other platforms to run their companies. And I kept telling people, you have to have your own platform. You have to control your own email list. So when I talked to Terrence, and I said, if you're going to rebuild this site, you have to do it. Alex has even noticed it and started talking about it. Have your own platform. Collect your own emails. You can stay on social media for now, but you have to be prepared for the day, even if they weren't just censoring conservatives. Who's to say Facebook doesn't want to just close its doors one day? You can't rely on third-party platforms to build your brand and build your company.
You ain't never lied.
Yeah. It's so key, especially right now, when you know that if you're using those platforms, you're not getting the full service. You're not getting a full round, if you will. You're not getting a full magazine. You're getting maybe 1 or 2 bullets instead of a full 16 round, and that's how they censor you. But act like it's not going on. They're, oh, we're trying to protect you, but really are shadow banning you. Guys, pull up Terrence K. Williams. Let's give the website a plug before we let these guys go. Guys, you got to check out this comedy tour. You can just tell just from the segments that they did with us here, these guys are funny. They know how to have a good laugh. They know how to entertain. It's going to be a great show. I hope that this takes off, and I wish you guys could basically reinvent comedy, I think, with this act. And so I just wish everybody go support you guys. Go to TerrenceKWilliams.com. Go to Trump Guy TV. Sign up for their emails. Get to their comedy tour. I promise you won't regret it. Plus, there's going to be fried chicken. There's going to be fried chicken.
That part.
If you don't support conservative comedians, we're joining the deep state.
Boy, I'll tell you, we are really living in historic times where right now there is a great opportunity, probably greater than ever, to put behind bars the biggest political criminals in U.S. and by that stretch, world history. And they keep screwing themselves with all of their lies, all of their illegality, and all of their censorship. It's all going to come back to bite them. It's inevitable. It already's happened in the public opinion. It's already happened in the eye of the public. Now the question is, do we still have a Justice Department? Now the question is anyone really above the law or not? That's what we find out, I think, here soon. Or at least, I mean, again, I've said it. Despite what Trump has done and the massive success and the fact he will go down as probably the greatest president in modern history, if he doesn't drain the swamp by putting behind bars the Clappers, the Brennans, the Clintons, the Comeys, his presidency was a failure. And just like he erased Obama's legacy, the next president will probably erase his. Because will there ever be another Donald Trump to run for office? Or have the Democrats and the deep state successfully intimidated anyone else from considering that in the future with how they've attacked the associates? Oh, but see, if you put those people behind bars, then they can't do it. Ah, you see how that works. Now, in the last segment, Terrence Williams and Dustin Gold had me cracking up. They're about to go on a comedy tour. But here's something we haven't done in a while that I'm going to go ahead and announce right now. War Room Memes, at War Room Memes on Twitter. I have not called for this audience to create a meme, but Dustin Gold has inspired a new meme, and that's Cro-Magnum John Brennan, Cro-Maghead. So John Cro-Mag Brennan. So I want you to put together your best meme of John Brennan as a caveman, a Cro-Magnum. Cro-Mag John Brennan. That is the meme challenge of today. So put the InfoWars bug on it. Put your best John Brennan caveman meme out there. Tweet it at War Room Memes, and we will give you a retweet, and we'll show it on today's broadcast that has an hour and a half left. So you got an hour and a half left. Give me your best Cro-Mag John Brennan. Submit it to at War Room Memes on Twitter. We'll retweet it, and we'll give it some love here on the live broadcast. We haven't done that in a while, so I was inspired by that, and I think it's hilarious because he does have a caveman head. Now, let me get back to something I was addressing in the first segment of this hour about the violence right now that happens if you're a Trump supporter. Now, this is not a left-right thing. The violence comes from the left and it's against the right. But I'm not trying to make a political point out of this. I'm just trying to inject a little reality into the situation. And I'm serious. Like, people don't understand. Like, this is why I like being the black sheep. I went to a Dave Matthews concert last night. I didn't even get recognized once. Thank God. I can still live a life. I can still go out in public and live a life for the most part. Now, it's starting to wane, but Tomi Lahren goes out and she has people throw drinks at her and harass her. Faith Goldy goes out to report from the scene. She gets assaulted and they try to break her camera. It's happened to Millie Weaver. It's happened to Laura Loomer. And you know, even if you disagree with my politics, which you have every right to disagree with me, even if you disagree with me, you know that right now, conservatives and Trump supporters that show their politics in public have a target on their back for violence to be committed against them. Milo Yiannopoulos can't even go to a bar in New York without being shouted out. But the funny thing is, And this really is the funny thing. Those people really are the fringe minority. Where actually, when I go out with Milo, we get recognized and people actually love us. So it's really only the fringe elements that want to spit on you or try to throw punches at you or assault you or whatever it is or make a big scene out of you being at an event. But just look at these rabid freaks. They're kicking a woman. I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? Ugh. So here's all I'm saying. If you don't believe it, if you think that I'm just up here making a big deal out of nothing, I challenge you to wear a Trump hat out for one day. Wear your Trump hat to the gym. Wear your Trump hat to the bar. Wear your Trump hat to lunch. Wear your Trump hat to work. See what happens to you. See if you don't experience somebody hating you or even getting physical with you. Now, most of the people will probably shake your hand and say, hey, right on. But you will have somebody make a scene of you and act hateful towards you. And that's a guarantee. Whereas I can go out in a Bernie Sanders hat or a Hillary Clinton hat or shirt. Nobody's going to be hateful to me. I might get people looking at me like, whoa, weirdo over here. Like, and they'll look at me kind of like, oh, sorry, that guy, brainwashed. But nobody's going to make a big deal of it. Nobody's going to come up to you and say that. Nobody's going to try to assault you or spit on you or throw a drink at you. Oh, but if you're Tomi Lahren, see, you can't go out in public. You're not allowed to have a normal life. So, honestly, this is why I'm glad InfoWars, I call it the black sheep of the media. This is why I'm glad that they don't allow us to penetrate the mainstream. Good. Keep us as the black sheep. You're just going to make us more attractive to the average news seeker out there. But for me personally, I enjoy life. I enjoy being able to go out and live a normal life. But more and more, if you're a conservative in the public square, it's riskier and riskier for you to go out in public now, which is really sad. Because honestly, when I go out in public, most of my politics stay at home. I mean, all my politics stay at home. Unless somebody actually wants to go there, I ain't going there. I don't want to go there. So it's just sad. It's just sad. But now Tomi Lahren is just more famous than ever. So, again, it just backfires on him. And she even gets a shout out from President Trump. Okay, you know what? I've only got a minute left here. So let me just hit this weird news. What I think I want to do, actually, I want to open up the phone lines. Specifically to someone who wants to call in who really believes in Trump-Russia collusion. I'm dead serious. I challenge all liberals listening right now, and I know you're listening. We don't have to be enemies. Call into the show and tell me the Trump-Russia collusion. You fully believe this. You've believed it since day one. You really think this is the downfall of Trump. I want to hear about it. 888-201-2244. Let's see if we can't get a liberal to call in and explain to me the Russian collusion narrative. I'm serious. I'll be all ears. I want to hear from you. 1-888-201-2244. 1-888-201-2244. If you're a liberal listening right now, call in and tell me about the Trump-Russia collusion. Maybe you don't believe it. Maybe you think it's all fake, but you still don't like Trump. I'm trying to figure this out right now because to me, it doesn't make any sense. And the main pushers of the Trump-Russia collusion narrative, like Eric Swalwell, have so many logical fallacies in their narrative that you can't actually trust them. But maybe you do. This is what I'm trying to figure out. So I invite liberals to call in. 888-201-2244. Tell me about the Trump-Russia collusion. Now, we'll see if any of them are willing to call in. Usually they don't. I know you're listening, so pick up the phone and start dialing. Convince myself and this audience that Trump colluded with Russia, and I'll quit. I'll quit. I'll quit today on Stormy Daniels Day if you convince me of Trump-Russia collusion. Well, between Allison Mack trying to reach a plea deal right now with investigators for the charges of human sex trafficking and Harvey Weinstein, the big Democrat donor that Michelle Obama once praised, and I think it was some other famous liberal actor called him God. I forget who that was, but now he's also being investigated for all the sexual allegations against him. Somehow that's going to come back to haunt the deep state as well. They're going to sing in order to try to not get the biggest sentence that they can receive. So I gave out the phone line in the last segment for liberals to call in. If you can convince me that Trump colluded with Russia right here on the air of the War Room today on Stormy Daniels Day, which, by the way, I thought I would announce, I didn't realize this. If you're in California, if you're in West Hollywood at 4 p.m. your local time, they are actually going to have a ceremony for Stormy Daniels at Chi Chi LaRue's at 4 p.m. local time in California. They're going to have a Stormy Daniels Day celebration at Chi Chi LaRue's. I would hate it if some info warrior went out there and trolled that and got footage of it. Boy, I am not encouraging that. Nobody, no info warriors that live in California, do not go to the Stormy Daniels Day celebration at Chi Chi LaRue's at 4 p.m. local time. And do not film it either. Do not go there. Do not voice your activism. Do not say InfoWars is real news. InfoWars has the truth. Do not record it. Don't do it. Don't go to Chi Chi LaRue's at 4 p.m. local time in California in West Hollywood and troll the event that is Stormy Daniels Day. Do not do that. I'm not encouraging that. Please don't. And don't send me the footage if you do. All right, so we've actually got some liberals that have taken up the challenge, and I am glad that you have chosen to do this. You could end my radio career today. The first to step up to the plate is Caroline in Kentucky. Caroline, convince me that Trump colluded with Russia.
Well, Owen, I think Trump himself convinced us when he went on national television and said, Russia, show us the emails. Show us Hillary's 33,000 emails. So Trump's doing it openly.
But wait a second, Caroline. Wait a second. If Trump is already colluding with Russia and he's in Putin's pocket, why would he have to make that statement publicly? Wouldn't he do that in his secret back channel communications?
Well, once Russia realized Trump was open to collusion, the game was on.
Oh, so it was after that. Oh, so it wasn't. Oh, so they didn't start colluding till after that?
Well, Trump also was trying to get a deal with Russia to build a Trump Tower in Moscow.
Okay, and what's illegal about that? He's a real estate tycoon. What's illegal about that?
Once he became president-elect, that made him suspect to collusion, blackmail. Who knows? It's unseemly.
Well, obviously you. Whoa, who knows? I thought you knew. You're supposed to convince me. That's the point.
Well, I think I'm trying to make my case. What about the time he went on national television and said, it's okay that Putin is a killer? Hey, we're killers
Okay, but hold on a second. Since you keep going back to that, which the Democrats admit they use as evidence, so you don't think Trump was being facetious? You think he literally was telling Russia, hey, if you have the emails, give them to me? Even though if he was colluding, he would have already had them?
I don't think he was being facetious. We have to believe our president. When he says something publicly, we need to be able to believe him. If he's being facetious.
But you pick and choose what to believe, though, from President Trump?
I don't know what to believe from President Trump at this point.
Well, apparently you believe him when he says he wants the Russians to. Okay, well, let me ask you this then. Okay. So do you think, though, I mean, you're okay with Hillary Clinton breaking the law with the illegal servers and everything? You're okay with that?
I got nothing to say about Hillary Clinton.
Well, I'm just saying, though, if she, but hold on a second. Let's just say, now hold on a second.
I think they're
No. Let's just say, listen to me for a second, Caroline. Let's just say that the Russians decided to actually expose a bunch of corruption that they found in these emails, and they released that to the public. And let's say you found out that Hillary Clinton's foundation was laundering millions of dollars and doing a pay-for-play program, and that those emails could be made public. Would you want to know about that?
I would want to know about that.
So then you would support the emails being released?
believe that in the first place.
I'm just speaking hypothetically.
I think.
Even though that is literally what happened.
But I simply don't believe that. All
right. Well, Caroline, you haven't convinced me yet, though. If you're trying to get me to quit radio, you got to convince me of Russian collusion. Trump just saying, hey, Russia, if you have the emails, let's see them. That doesn't prove anything to me. If anything, that proves he's not colluding with Russia because he doesn't know if they have them or not.
Okay. Well, I found Owen, but guess what? Maybe Donald Trump's attorney, Michael Cohen, will prove the Russian collusion. We can only hope.
Okay, so you can't prove it. You have no evidence.
I have no evidence, Owen. You got me.
Thank you for the call, Caroline. God bless you. I love the call, Caroline. Great stuff. Let's jump to, I'm still here. Let's go to Chris in Maine. All right, Chris, it's your turn now. Make me quit radio by convincing me of Trump-Russia collusion.
Man, I'm not going to make you quit radio, but I just wanted to kind of debate and kind of look at what we have so far. I mean, there's still a lot of questions left unanswered. And, if you look to Schiff, he plastered all over the internet. This guy thinks that there is collusion, but I just want to talk about the meeting at Trump Tower. I mean, and the Facebook and the bots and the advertising that Russia has.
Okay, all right, hold on. So let's take the step by step. So Trump Tower meeting, and then the social media campaign. Yep. Which one do you want to start on?
Well, the social media campaign is pretty big. I mean, if Russians were kind of flooding Facebook with ads supporting Trump, I don't know if they had a secret relationship behind the scenes or what is going on.
Okay. Now, Chris, are you aware of the full story here? Did you read the actual indictment?
I haven't read the indictment, I don't think.
Okay. I read the whole indictment. I actually read it here on air. And if you look into it, actually, what you discover is the Russian bot farms or troll farms that you're citing from the indictments, they even say in the indictments were not just pro-Trump, they were also pro-Hillary and anti-Trump. It was just an overall campaign to confuse American politics, where in fact the same group of quote-unquote Russian troll farms organized an anti-Trump rally in New York City that was attended and publicized by Michael Moore and CNN. So the social media campaign was actually going both ways, but there's one other element here, Chris. The Russians that were indicted actually showed up for court. They actually showed up for their court date, and Mueller skipped it. Yeah. So how do you explain that?
That they showed up for court? They showed up for court, but didn't, that got canceled on them.
No, Mueller. Mueller skipped it. Mueller canceled it.
With them, right? Yeah.
No. So Mueller said, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Yep. So was that rescheduled for another time, or is that just done for?
Well, the judge said, no, Mueller, you can't do this. That's against the law. And so now it's just kind of in limbo.
Okay. Okay, so let's go to the Trump Tower meeting then. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I would just say this. Who let Veselnitskaya into the country, and why was she allowed in? It wasn't Republicans that let her in. It was the Obama administration. So if you're going to say that the Trumps are colluding with Veselnitskaya because of their meeting with him, well, then you also have to put Obama into that because it was the Obama administration that let her in the country to begin with.
Yeah, well, look, I don't necessarily think that there is collusion that the Russians hijacked the election. I think that they may have had an influence over it. I think that through botnets or whatever on social media that they may have had some kind of influence over what people voted for. In my personal opinion, but that's just me. I'm still waiting to see kind of what is going to be produced from this. It's more and more every day. It's getting kind of crazy, but it's interesting nonetheless.
Okay, so you're more on the perspective that's maybe there's something, maybe not. You're just kind of, you're not a Trump supporter, maybe not a total Trump hater, but maybe there's something there.
No, I support Trump. I mean, I think, at first I really wasn't convinced, and I was really kind of against Trump, and now he's kind of like growing on me a bit.
All right, we're still taking your phone calls here. Specifically, I have said, liberals, call into the show. If you convince me of Trump-Russia collusion, I will quit radio. So you could defeat me today. All you had to do was call in and convince me of Trump-Russia collusion. So far, they're 0 for 2. One of them said they weren't trying to get me to quit, though, but they're more curious of the Russian collusion angle. The other one thought that she might have it and then admitted that she didn't. But I'm glad they're calling. I want more calls like this. I'd do 3 hours straight of a debate with liberals. I think it'd be great content. Unfortunately, most of them won't call in. I got all these reports here. They're so good. Travis Knight gets a free coffee at Starbucks for claiming racism. Classic video on the Alex Jones channel. Our newest reporter, Savannah Hernandez. Boy Scouts to provide condoms to children at 2019 Jamboree. I don't even believe this. I can't even believe that this is going on. John Bounds putting out reports left and right. Google is the deep state, the money behind Mueller's witch hunt. I mean, I'm never going to have time to get into all this. Leanne McAdoo files a report. Trump orders DOJ to investigate the spying. Oh, and yeah, I've got this stack of, you know what? This is what I'll do. I'll just do this in the short segment. This is a stack right here of Trump and conservatives and everyone going on the attack. And that's the stack of news that I have right here. But you know what? I'm not going to have time in this short segment. So actually, because I'm curious about this. I don't even know. Let's roll clip 2. I don't even believe this. Savannah Hernandez report, Boy Scouts to provide condoms. Why is it called the Boy Scouts now? It's not Boy Scouts. It's anyone Scouts. Boy Scouts to provide condoms to children at 2019 Jamboree. I can't even believe this. Let's roll the report.
Get ready to unlock a new world by joining us for 12 days of peace, friendship, and adventure at the 24th World Scout Jamboree. What makes this World Scout Jamboree so special? It's an experience.
Pause it. What am I watching here? This is for the Boy Scouts. I should be seeing like people learning how to make knots, people learning how to carve with knives, people learning how to build tents, climb a mountain, survive in the wilderness. This is some trendy, we're going to change the world and be adventurous. Boy Scouts 2019. God, man, the left just ruins everything. I wasn't even into the Boy Scouts. Go back.
None other. With wild and wonderful adventures like rock climbing, mountain biking, skateboarding, zip lining,
cool woman voice reading.
Just weeks after the controversial name change of the Boy Scouts to the Scouts, more controversy is following the organization after they made the announcement that condoms will be made readily available to all participants of their 24th annual Jamboree.
Thank God. Thank God. That's why I signed my kid up for Boy Scouts.
Tens and thousands
I just wanted him to learn how to use a condom.
Ranging from 14 to 17 years of age. And not only will they be providing condoms to the kids, they'll also be providing alcohol to the parents of the Scouts in specified locations. John Stenberger, chairman of the board of Trail Life USA, an alternative scouting organization, said it is not clear how far down the rabbit hole the Boy Scouts will continue to fall. All of this should be deeply disturbing to the churches that are chartering Boy Scout troops. And these policies present a clear youth protection problem that the BSA absolutely refuses to recognize. The fact that they are requiring that condoms be readily accessible and are communicating this to everyone, including youth participants, shows that the BSA is both anticipating and facilitating sexual conduct between minors at this event. These policies are both outrageous and completely irresponsible. So with this issue, I know a lot of people are going to argue that, we're helping kids have safe sex and, the seed is already planted in their minds. They're already going to be out there doing it. But for me personally, I just don't see how it's a good idea. If we're giving kids the opportunity to have birth control and condoms readily accessible,
but Savannah, don't you understand here? The parents need the booze to drink themselves into oblivion because of what they realize they signed their kids up for isn't even the Boy Scouts. So they have to have all the booze to drink themselves into oblivion because they can't believe what they signed their boys up for. It's not even the Boy Scouts. It's some trendy arts and crafts show of inclusivity now. It's the year 2018. And if you sign your son up for the Boy Scouts, their troop leader will be a woman and they'll receive a free condom. That's the Boy Scout Jamboree 2019. Be sure to be there. There'll be plenty of alcohol. You'll need it. Okay. Oh, man, what a fun time it is to be alive. I'm like, I go from like, I have like a weird thing. I go from like I start here and then I just go angry and it gets anger. And then it like maxes out and then it comes down and it's just humorous to me. It's just hilarity. I think that's where I'm at right now. So I put out a challenge to liberals. Call into the show, 888-201-2244, 888-201-2244. Convince me of Trump-Russia collusion, and I will quit radio forever. I've been in radio for 8 years, and I will put it all behind if you can convince me of Trump-Russia collusion. So far, we're 0 for 2. I do think we have some more liberals on the line. Is that one right now that you just put up there, guys? I can't really tell. We'll just give it a okay, yeah, okay, so the challenge is call in 888-201-2244. Convince me of Russian collusion, and I will quit radio forever. I'm not sure if that's what Newman wants to do, but the crew says that this is a liberal calling in. So let's go to Newman in Maryland. Go ahead, Newman. Newman.
You know, Owen, I just got to say something. It just seems like every time I tune into your broadcast, it just seems like you're always nagging. You and Roger are constantly nagging me about looking good, nagging me to dress well, and nagging me to share the link, and nagging me to mark your words, nagging me about Russia. You nag me to wake up, and you nag me to stay woke, and it's just really tiring, man.
Come on, Newman. Newman.
But I do have to say, it just never gets old, because I can't help that I am an unabashed, unalloyed, InfoWars nagger lover. So please keep nagging me to stay classy, Owen, and nagging me to buy the nutraceuticals.
Oh,
I just
Newman.
can't hear too much of it or too often.
Well, I'll tell you what, Newman. I'm going to nag you to buy something right now. Since you like it that I nag you so much, do you mind if I nag you live on air?
Well, listen to this, nagging. Owen. If I
You can
had
call me
any of
nagging.
my natural teeth left, I would certainly double my order of Super Blue toothpaste.
Well, look, I'm going to have to nag you here live on air, Newman, because you wanted to call into this show. Put him on pause. I'm going to shut you down right now, Newman. I'm going to nag you, Newman, because I need your support. I can't even go live on my YouTube channel because they censor me on YouTube. They don't want us to grow this show. I can't even go on social media and get things to go viral because they shadow ban me. And then I'm told that we're not allowed to sell supplements at InfoWarsStore.com because it's Alex Jones sponsored. So I have to nag you, Newman. I need you to go to InfoWarsStore.com. I don't care if you don't have any teeth left. Brush your gums with Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste. If you have no teeth left in your mouth, just put Super Blue on a toothbrush and brush your gums with it then. Can you do that for me, Newman? Can I nag you into brushing your gums with Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste?
I can try. On a serious note, I think the liberal argument for the election this fall is going to be that the 4% GDP growth is not fixing things for 99% of the population.
Oh, you're 100% right.
Crumbs.
No, you're 100% right. That's what they're going to say. They're going to say, it's just the rich getting richer. It's just for the richest. It's just like they say for the tax cuts. Oh, it's only for the rich, so we have to raise the taxes. Yeah, I know. You're 100% right. In fact, I'm going to nag right now. Mark the words. Mark down the words. Mark Newman's words down right now. They're going to say that the 4% GDP growth was only for the rich that support Trump.
And they may make headway with that. I'm not sure how many people will buy into it, but it's compelling to a degree. We are trapped in a debt bubble, a sort of house of cards that can be popped at any time, and the president needs to address that at some point. That the house of cards is rickety. We can have moments of prosperity, but eventually they will try to jack up the interest rates, and then our debt payment goes crazy.
Well, that's the biggest scare right now is the inflation rates, and that leading to even superinflation, which would, could lead to another recession. But the GDP growth is real. I mean, but they will try to demonize it. I think that you're 100% right. But the reason why you're able to be so accurate in these predictions is because they do the same thing over and over. I mean, it's the same story over and over.
True.
All right, Newman. Hey, you know what? Great call, Newman. Great call. I got some other people on the line, but a great call. You got through. You trolled me, and then you nagged me, and then you made some good jokes. So that's not bad. All right, let's jump out to Vaughn in D.C. Vaughn, convince me of Trump-Russia collusion, and I will quit radio right here, live on air with you on. So far, I got nothing from you, Vaughn. Is that it? You're just going to sit there and breathe into the phone? Is this like a joke?
This is Don.
This is a new one. What?
My name's Don. I live in
Don?
the area.
Okay, Don. All right, Don. Sorry about that. Don, convince me of Trump-Russia collusion, Don.
Well, first of all, I've been watching you ever since you began War Room. Excellent job.
Thank you.
And wish to compliment Mr. Stone on being able to, how shall I say, mentor your style of dress. You look quite handsome, and my girlfriend thinks that you look better in a tank top and gym shorts. So we kind of.
Well, that's too bad that she's actually seen me in that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was from your commercial, bouncing the b-ball around, doing a commercial.
Yes.
She likes your legs, so I'm kind of suggesting maybe you a sport jacket and tie for me, and a pair of gym shorts for my girlfriend, and on one of your shows. She just loves your legs. Other than that, I'm just trying to make light of the situation. The fact is that.
So are you just trolling, or are you actually trying to convince me of Trump-Russia collusion?
Actually, I was pointing out the ridiculous aspect of things because somebody today that's a Democrat noticed a sinkhole in front of the White House and tried to convince me that some type of espionage trolls were getting into the White House.
Oh. I'm shocked. No. I am shocked that they have not found a way to blame Trump for that sinkhole. I'm dead serious. I'm shocked.
Sinkhole, this individual, I live in this retirement community filled with people from New York, and they tried to convince me that there was some type of passageway for Russian moles to get on. And I wish.
It's literally no. It's literally Russian moles, actual Russian moles. They send in moles, actual moles, and then they dig out a sinkhole.
I wish Mueller would just spend another $3 million and have the FBI go out there and look, and I'm sure they'll find Russian mole prints in the mud.
That's it. Oh, Don, you know what? Don just did it. He unintentionally convinced me of Trump-Russia collusion. That's what it is. It was the Russian moles in the ground. The Russian moles, see, everybody had it wrong. Russia put a bunch of moles in the White House grounds, and the moles were digging. See, they were digging for secrets, and they got all the White House secrets by digging around, and the Russian moles caused the sinkhole now. So the Russian moles got all the blackmail on Trump because they were digging around the White House grounds, but now we know. Now we have the evidence. Look at the sinkhole. There it is. I bet you there's a Russian mole right in there. In fact, do I see one? No. Okay, second meme challenge of the day. Take that picture, put it back up. Take that picture and put a mole in there with a Russian hat on it. Take that picture and put a mole in the hole with a Russian hat on it. This is brilliant. This will go viral. You take that picture, find a mole, you put the mole in the hole, you put a Russian hat on the mole. There's your Russian mole. There's your Russian collusion. Vaughn, I might have to step away. You just convinced me. There's the Russian moles. We have the evidence. A sinkhole at the White House. This is breaking. This is breaking. We're gonna have to. We got to get a whole team on this. Somebody go. I need the blades of grass. I need a sample of dirt. Cancel everything. I got to find out this sinkhole. All right. I need to get to some of this news. The phone lines are still open for any liberal that wants to call in and convince me of Trump-Russia collusion. I will quit radio if you convince me. That's yet to happen. They're 0 for 2, and then we had a couple other trolls get through. But the phone lines are still open, and we do have some other callers holding. I'll take your calls before the end of the broadcast, so if you do want to get your points on, I will take your calls before it's all said and done. But I need to get into some of this news that I teased you on and I didn't get to. All right, so we've been saying, and it's actually one of Stone's rules in his new book that's at InfoWarsStore.com right now, attack, attack, attack. Always stay on the attack. Well, it looks like that's the direction we're heading in here. Now, Trump is really going off on Twitter against the deep state. Look at some of the tweets just from today. Quoting James Clapper, Trump should be happy that the FBI was spying on his campaign. No, James Clapper, I'm not happy. Spying on a campaign would be illegal and a scandal to boot. Yeah, especially spying that's either based on a fake dossier that they knew was fake or that did not have a judge sign off on it. So there is Trump hitting the deep state and destroying James Clapper, who, again, James Clapper comes out and admits that they spied on the Trump campaign. The next day, Politico runs the headline, James Clapper, the FBI never spied on Trump. And then James Clapper again says, yeah, the FBI spied on Trump. He should be thanking us. We did it for his protection, even though we think he's a Russian agent and an enemy of the country. Doesn't make sense. I go on. Trump tweets out, look how things have turned around on the criminal deep state. They go after phony collusion with Russia, a made-up scam, and end up getting caught in a major spy scandal, the likes of which this country may never have seen before. What goes around comes around. And it's all going to come around back to them with everything they've done, including all this social media censorship, where now the Southern District of New York has said Trump is not allowed to block people on his Twitter account. And then they said it's a public forum. I'm telling you, that decision from the Southern District of New York is going to come back to haunt social media giants and to haunt Democrats. Guaranteed. And have you ever noticed that most politicians, when a scandal gets brought up about them, just don't even address it? Trump actually addresses it. You know why? Because it's fake. It's not real. The reason why Obama and Bush would ignore all the accusations of their scandals was because they were real and they didn't want to draw attention to them. This is a fake scandal, and Trump wants attention drawn to it because at the end of the day, it's going to be proven as illegal activity engaged by Obama's administration. As if it isn't already. Trump goes on, if the person placed very early into my campaign wasn't a spy put there by previous administration for political purposes, how come such a seemingly massive amount of money was paid for services rendered many times higher than normal? So now Trump's actually getting into intelligence that he's getting that the public doesn't see. Follow the money. The spy was there early in the campaign and yet never reported collusion with Russia because there was no collusion. He was only there to spy for political reasons and to help Hillary win, just like they did to Bernie Sanders, who got duped. And think about this. They have a spy inside the Trump campaign for all of this time, and they still have nothing. This is before the special counsel. Think about that. They had a spy in the Trump campaign for a year before Mueller's special counsel was launched. And then they have a year of the Mueller special counsel, still nothing. 3 spies in the Trump campaign get nothing. They find nothing. So then they launch a special counsel with no boundaries and still find nothing. And now they're trying to spin it and say, oh, we were spying on him for his protection. Right. Even though you've been saying he's the enemy for the last 2 years. Hey, I want to give a big congratulations to Bill Clinton today. Your grandson has just graduated from pre-kindergarten and is now moving up to the kindergarten level. So I just want to congratulate Bill Clinton. There's your grandson. I know you ignore your grandson and you act like he doesn't exist, Bill, because you're such a good guy and you have so much integrity, or maybe because Hillary Clinton bullies you into ignoring them. But I just want to congratulate you, Bill. Congratulations. And well, I guess Hillary would be your step-grandma, I suppose. But congratulations to Bill. Your grandson has just graduated from pre-K and is moving on to kindergarten. And that is the son of Danny Williams, Dylan Williams. So big shout out to Bill Clinton. Your grandson that you have totally ignored is going to make it without you. So good for Dylan Williams. Congratulations for Bill Clinton. Your grandson is moving up. All right, more on the attack here from Jim Jordan. Happening now, every week we learn more about the FBI DOJ's questionable actions during the 2016 election. The DOJ cannot investigate itself. That's why we're calling for a second special counsel. It's time. Now, here's what's going to be incredible about this. If and when they launch a special counsel to investigate the Obama administration, FBI, and DOJ and the spying on the Trump campaign, that special counsel will be wrapped up in about a month's time, if not less, because they already have all the information. Whereas Mueller's special counsel is never ending because there's nothing for him to ever find. He's looking for something that doesn't exist. So his special counsel will go on for years and years and years. His great-grandson will take it over someday. A special counsel into the Obama administration's FBI and DOJ, that'll be open and shut within a month, and you'll actually have crimes and indictments. Now, Elon Musk tweets out, "The holier-than-thou hypocrisy of big media companies who lay claim to the truth but publish only enough to sugarcoat the lie is why the public no longer respects them." This is in response to the lowest trust in American media ever. And then someone, I actually don't know who Andrew Hawkins is, says, "Musk continues to slow transformation into a media-baiting Trump figure screaming irrationality about fake news. Hope it works out for you, dude." Yeah, it is. He can sell flamethrowers out in a day. Musk responds, "Thought you'd say that. Anytime anyone criticizes the media shrieks, 'You're just like Trump.' Why do you think he got elected in the first place? Because no one believes you anymore. You lost your credibility a long time ago." They really don't get it. And it's funny because Musk doesn't even mention Trump in the tweet, but they always find that. You don't even have to mention Trump's name, but if you say something that they don't like, they immediately put Trump in there and say you're a Trump enthusiast or something. Now Elon Musk has taken a step further. Elon Musk says he's going to create a site where the public can rate the core truth of any article and track the credibility score over time of each journalist, editor, and publication, thinking of calling it Pravda. Like American Pravda, like James O'Keefe. And the stories at Washington Examiner, Elon Musk teases website tracking journalists and media outlets' credibility. CNN will be in the tank before this website even launches. Yes. And Pravda, of course, is Russian for truth. So Elon Musk, a patriot against fake news. You got to love that. Well, we have a trust in our audience that's built by years and years of reporting that comes out to be true, where maybe we'll say something that at the time seems outrageous, and then years later it comes out to be true. Like Alex Jones saying they're growing human organs in animals. Oh, he's crazy. Now it's mainstream news. Alex Jones says that the chemicals in the water are messing with the frog's sexuality. They say he's crazy. Multiple studies. It's true. It's the atrazine. And it's all thanks to your support at InfoWarsStore.com. So our credibility is in the sense that we get your support at InfoWarsStore.com, and then a product like Survival Shield X2 has over 6,000 reviews, has a 4.9-star review, and it's on sale at InfoWarsStore.com right now for 25% off. So our credibility is already put out there by you supporting us at InfoWarsStore.com. We'll be right back. All right, I put out a challenge, and I said if anyone can call into this show and convince me of Trump collusion with Russia, I will quit radio. It's yet to happen. The offer still stands. The phone number is 888-201-2244. Let's go back out to the phone lines now. Let's go to Michael calling in from Orlando. Go ahead, Michael. You are on the air.
Oh, and how you doing today?
Doing just fine.
Good. Hey, I was wondering, how long did the Ken Starr investigation on Bill Clinton, how long did that last? How much money did it cost? How many indictments ended up resulting from that?
You know what? That is an excellent question. I don't have the answer to that. But okay, ironically enough,
I do.
We'll get that. Ironically enough, though, recall that during Ken Starr's investigation of Bill Clinton, he was demonized the entire time by the media. He was the worst person ever, according to the media back then, unlike the love that the liberal media has for Robert Mueller. So since we're going there, I just wanted to put that out there. But go ahead with your facts.
Okay, so it was 4 years, $7 million, 0 indictments. How long did the Benghazi investigation go on, and how many indictments resulted for that?
I believe the Benghazi investigation lasted about a year, and they got no indictments.
And it was 4 years. It started in 12 and ended up being concluded in 16.
Well, Congress has no prosecutorial power, though. That's why Gowdy left Congress, because he was the one that did the investigation in Benghazi and found all the crimes, and he couldn't prosecute anybody, and he got no help from the DOJ.
Okay, so originally when they addressed Actually, I don't. I guess you could say Sessions. How many contacts did the Clinton? Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Okay. But you know what? Let's cut to the chase here, Michael, because I only got 25 minutes left of the show. Your point is that the investigation into Trump is just beginning, right? I mean, that's your point. Because these other ones took so long, you expect the same thing from the Mueller probe, correct?
No. I think it'll probably be over about September. And there's already been 5 people who've pled guilty. There's been 19 indictments. And
okay. Now, all right. Hold it right there. Now, none of them pled guilty to anything involving the campaign or colluding with Russia, though. You understand that?
I do understand they pled guilty.
For lying in an entrapment crime. Now, do you also understand that the Russians, hold on, Michael, we let your facts out now. Let me get my facts out. Do you also realize that the Russians that were indicted by Mueller showed up to court and Mueller skipped the court date? Do you realize that?
No, that's not true, Owen. Where did they show up at court?
Pull up the story. Michael, the Russians showed up in court and demanded discovery. Mueller didn't show up, skipped court, and then asked the judge to delay it and didn't give them discovery. Mueller is the one obstructing justice right now. They showed up in court and Mueller skipped court. That is a fact, Michael.
Owen, wouldn't you say that every Republican says that Mueller is beyond reproach? He's an honest guy. He's honest.
What's your point?
Newt Gingrich will tell you.
I don't care. I'm not a Republican. What's your point?
My point is that the investigation's not done.
Okay, fair enough. So what do you think is going to come of Mueller's probe? I mean, if they had a spy in the Trump campaign, hold on. If they had a spy in the Trump campaign for over a year, Mueller's been investigating for over a year, and they have zero proof of Russian collusion, how can they find anything now? If they had nothing when they were spying and they have nothing for a year-long investigation with no rules, no boundaries, I mean, what do you expect to come from this that they haven't had yet?
But the investigation's not done, Owen. I mean,
what do you think is going to come of it? I'm asking you.
I believe that there's going to be more people going to prison.
No one's gone to prison.
A lot of people are going to prison. Owen,
who has gone to prison for colluding with Russia?
Cohen's going to go to prison if he doesn't flip and on Trump.
For what?
Page, you've got what? For colluding with Russia.
That's not illegal. What's the crime?
What do you think about Kushner and 666?
What does this have to do with the topic of conversation?
It's got everything to do with it. Where do you think Trump's been getting his money? He doesn't pay banks.
Where is Trump getting his money? What is his net worth? $4 billion?
I don't know. He'll never release his taxes.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy. Okay, so you really expect, hold on a second. You even admitted as your first talking point that Ken Starr after 4 years got 0 indictments, yet you have faith in Mueller?
I don't really have faith in many people in the government, just like, Alex Jones did a couple of years ago. Now you guys got your nose so tight up Trump's rear that you're sycophants. You used to argue about the system. Used to say it was the right and left paradigm.
Wait. Hold on a second, though, Michael. Are you denying that the entire establishment has been against Trump from the beginning, even the Republicans when he was first running?
Yeah, absolutely, because he's a douchebag.
Really? Oh, because he's a douchebag. Great point.
Okay, would you give me 1 second and let me just go over this.
1.
Tell me where I'm wrong. Okay.
2.
How about that?
3.
How about the wall that Mexico is going to pay for?
I don't want the wall.
Okay, well, how about the tax overhaul?
It's already happened. It's a massive success. Tax overhaul has been a huge success. Excuse me, Michael, do you want higher taxes?
Alex says that he's paying more in taxes now than he would be under Obama.
Do you want higher taxes?
That's what Alex Jones says, that he is now going to pay more in taxes than he would have under Obama. So did Mike Cervanovich. How about the massive immigration ban?
You're not even answering the question. Do you want higher taxes?
Yes, I'd like to pay a lot more taxes. Of course, Owen, I want to pay a lot.
You are such a liar. You're a liar.
I wish gas was $9. I wish gas was, yeah. Of course, no one wants to pay more taxes.
Thank you.
How do you feel about Kushner? Can't even get clearance. But
actually, he just got his clearance back, actually.
He got a top security clearance?
Yeah, he literally today just got it back.
Oh, right. How about locking up Hillary?
I think that would be great. Would you like to see Hillary locked up?
I don't know. What charges what would she be locked up for?
Well, James Comey already admitted that she had an illegal server with classified emails on it. So we already know that happened.
Okay, so she should go to prison for how long for having a server? Exactly like Colin Powell had, exactly like Bush had.
I'd put all three of them in jail. Put them in the same cell.
You want to put Colin Powell in jail?
If he broke the law.
It's not. What law is it? How long should Hillary go to jail for?
Dude, you're the one that brought this up. But let me get back to the point of the conversation, which is why you called. So you really believe that Trump colluded with Russia to win the election? You actually believe that?
Well, there's no doubt that Russia.
Okay, and so then let me ask you this. We got 60 seconds, Michael. What has Trump done as the Russian president of America to help Russia? What policy, what has Trump done that's actually been a Russian policy?
Owen, what has Trump ever said bad about Putin?
Can you please answer the question, Michael? What has Trump done that's pro-Russia?
The investigation's not done.
You're not answering the question. What has Trump done that's pro-Russia? Answer that question.
What has he done as far as being president?
Yeah.
He's given them a break. He's given them a break on every single thing. He's never.
Oh, he's given them a break. You're right. He attacks Syria. He attacks Iran. He has higher sanctions on Russia. The U.S. military killed 200 Russians in Syria, Michael. That's pro-Russia, according to you.
Over for the commercial break.
What a joke. Having more fun than a human being should be allowed to have. Here we are at the War Room. Owen Schroyer, final segment. I've got callers that have been hanging on for a while. We're going to take your calls. First, I need to just hit these news headlines. Just crazy. U.S. staffer suffers brain injury after quote-unquote sound incident in China. So apparently the government employee experienced an abnormal sound and suffered a brain injury. And, of course, we know about sound weapons and sound waves. You had the leaked government documents talking about how they can use the radio waves from the cell phones to manipulate your mind and even your physical body. So, just craziness there. More craziness. Mysterious booms, house-rattling sounds in Pennsylvania under investigation by FBI. Now, this story of weird booms and weird lights has actually been a nationwide story for a while now. But now you have FBI investigating because they've had so many of these calls and they can never figure it out. They don't know what's going on. And I'm wondering if there isn't a tie into this and some of the odd seismic activity we've seen stretching across the nation, including, you've heard me talk about this before, a seismic wave was picked up going from one end of the country to the other end of the country. A total seismic anomaly with no explanation. Is that stuff going on underground? Is that maybe explaining these weird noises and flashes that nobody can seem to figure out? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out. So the NFL has just announced that they're going to make players stand for the national anthem. Now, I found this hilarious from some, I don't even know, Charlotte climber. I guess it's like it's either a cross-dresser or a drag queen or something. I don't know. Writes a thing, and then Twitter makes it go viral. White people do not own patriotism. And so the whole point is that how dare white people stop black people from kneeling during the national anthem? Well, actually, there were white people and black people. And I've never heard anybody ever claim that black people can't be patriotic. So this is another example of a liberal taking something and making it up, taking one story and then creating a new story out of it to racially divide people. No white person ever said black people can't be patriotic or aren't patriotic. Never happened. But that's somehow how they see it. By the way, Roger Goodell released the official NFL statement. And is saying that they never were being unpatriotic for kneeling for the anthem. So apparently kneeling for the anthem is not patriotic. Whatever. You can have a debate on that. But then this is the key. And this really is the key that people need to understand. The point is, and they say, we believe this decision will keep focus on the game and the extraordinary athletes who play it. Bingo. That's what turned people off. People watch sports to get away from the nonsense of politics and all the division. And as soon as you inject that into entertainment, which is what the left is doing, people turn it off. And people and liberals right now are betting that NFL ratings go down next year. NFL ratings have been tanking for the last 3 years. I bet maybe they still go down, but it'll be a lot less. It might even go up, actually. And then you have Dean Obadiah, who is an XM radio host. And I'm not going to respond to him now because I'm actually hoping he'll come on as a guest. So I'll leave this for tomorrow. And I do hope Dean will join me as a guest to talk about this because I'd love to have this debate about the standing for the anthem. Oh, but by the way, the players can choose to not be there for the anthem. They just hang out in the locker room. And if someone does kneel during the anthem, the team gets fined. So that's going to keep any players from doing it because the team is going to fine them. Or the team is going to get fined, so the team is going to have ultimate control over that situation. I wanted to give a shout-out to a LSU rookie coming into the NFL, Darius Geis, who commented on President Trump. He was trying to get baited into saying negative things about Trump, and he didn't do it. He didn't have to come out and say he supported Trump. He just said, hey, I respect the president. I respect the White House, and I would absolutely go to the White House if we won the Super Bowl. Who wouldn't? So, and it goes on that you read the story, you learn more about him. Always got good grades, never did drugs, never went to parties. So shocking a man like that would have class. Good for him. The NFL needs more people like that. And Larry Fitzgerald that just are just the classiest guys you'll ever meet, man. Seriously classy guys. All right, let's go out to the phone lines. We've still got some callers here. Guys, make it quick, 60 seconds per call. Let's start with Joseph in California. Go ahead, Joseph.
Hey, Owen, thanks for taking my call. Really quick, that's incredible that you're starting that new veterans show. What is it again?
It's the Veterans Call-In Show, a voice for our veterans. It's the last Friday of every month right here on the War Room. I'm going to have a guest host that's also a veteran. Craig Sawyer will be the first guest host. Right. And I just want to say, this is something that actually Alex Jones did years ago when he first launched the Alex Jones Show. So I don't want to act like I'm the originator of this idea. Alex Jones also did this, but I'm bringing it back, and I think it needs to be done. No,
thank you, Owen. I created a platform at iansmind.com, IANSMIND.com. That's my blog, and the purpose of this blog is to give combat veterans their voice back into their communities, back into the world, like redevelop ourselves into what this country needs. You know?
Yeah, because there really is a psychological problem when you sign up for the military, you put your life on the line, and you're the hero. And then you come back and you're not the hero, and the country you fought for isn't even the country you fought for. So there really is a lot, and the veterans need to be heard, and I'm looking forward to Friday. It's going to be a great call-in show, and I'm looking forward to all the veterans. iansmind.com was his site where he gives veterans a voice. Thank you for the call, Joseph. Let's jump out to Stephen. Stephen in West Virginia. Go ahead, Stephen.
Good afternoon, Owen. Don't want you to lose your job. Want you and Alex both to keep doing what you're doing until you take your last breath on earth and till your first step in paradise. I do honestly believe Trump tried to communicate with Russia while he was president-elect. I think he tried to communicate with Russia now.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll take it one step further. I hope he did. I hope he had a back channel with Putin because I don't want war with Russia.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He knows that if we don't set a relationship with Russia, we'll never have peace. And
no, that's the key.
And he's being condemned for it.
And that's the crazy thing about it is here they are demonizing Trump for wanting peace, essentially. It's like even if he made a peace deal using Russia as a conduit with Iran, they'd say, oh, it's Russian collusion, but he just got peace accomplished. I don't care. We hate Trump.
That's why collusion isn't against the law.
Well, it doesn't. The whole thing is going to blow up in their face. All right, hey, Stephen, I got to jump. I got other callers. Thank you for the call, though, and thank you for your service, too. I know that you're a veteran out there in West Virginia. All right, let's jump now to Stephen in Maine. Back-to-back Stephen. Go ahead, Stephen.
Hey, Owen, how are you today?
Great.
I just want to give you some props and thank you and Alex and Roger for keeping us informed. And none of these liberals got a foot to stand on. They can't. They have no case to plead. They're, you know, our president's doing a great job, and we definitely love the information that you guys are giving.
Well, let me ask you this, Stephen. Let me ask you this, because I agree the president's doing a great job. But despite all the success, all the promises fulfilled, everything he's done for America, if he doesn't lock up the Clintons, the Comeys, the Brennans, and the rest of these people, do you still consider his presidency a success?
I'd say 50-50. He needs to lock them all up and continue doing what he's doing. You know, I'm a father of 3, and I've noticed I'm middle class. My work is getting better. You know, my life is getting better with everything that's going on under the Trump administration, and I'm proud to be an American.
And that's one of the things that they're trying to steal the narrative with, when the average American really is seeing improvements, really is getting tax cuts, and they say it's crumbs or it's only for the rich. The average American knows that the Democrats are lying about that. It's not going to lead to a victory for them. Thank you for the call, Steve. All right, Justin in Arizona. Sorry, you got to make it short. I got 40 seconds for you. Go ahead.
Oh, no problem. Hey, Owen, how are you doing today? I appreciate what you guys are doing. I just wanted to talk about kind of the witch hunt they've got going on for our president. I believe that he is a devout Christian, and I also believe that that's the reason that they are attacking him the way that they're attacking him. And they're not
because he actually has morals, you're saying?
Yes. He's actually bringing back the morals. I'm 34. He's actually bringing back the morals to this country that we had at one time, and they've just the globalists have just kind of taken that away from us because we all know what they're involved with, and I believe that that's why there's a witch hunt out for this man, because he believes in Jesus Christ, and they want nothing to do with that. And
he knows about all the crimes they committed and who Barack Obama really is. That's exactly it, and they tried to get dirt on him to bring him down. And they totally failed, and they're all going to wind up on the receiving end of what they tried to do to Trump. That does it for the War Room. You stay classy, Info Warriors.
Guaranteeing your food independence is a crucial part of prepping. Between debt crisis, natural disasters, or even simple power outages, having a supply of storable meals is crucial. With InfoWars Life Select storable food, you can make sure you and your family are ready for any emergency. With drinks, snacks, and meals in amounts ranging from 72 hours to a full year, there's no better place to look for healthy, easy, and incredible meals. Including meals such as Traveler Stew, home-style potato soup, and a variety of other meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, InfoWars Life Select storable food will help you eat comfortably in a time of need. They even work great for camping. Simply pack a 72-hour kit to go and you have easy-to-cook and transport food for you and your loved one's trip. Don't be caught surprised by an emergency. Make sure you're stocked up today with all the food you need for an affordable price with InfoWars Life Select storable foods.